All right, man, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV with some breaking news. Josh Taylor has signed a promotional deal with Bob Arum. If you don't know who Josh Taylor is, he's the number one 140-pound fighter in the world. He holds the ring belt, he holds the IBF, and he holds the Super WBA belt. And he just defeated Regis Prograis over there in the UK, and Bob Arum just swooped him up. People are already making the accusations that Bob is going to throw him to Crawford, and he got to find Crawford opponents. And that could be true. And also, he can make a super undisputed fight with Josh Taylor and José Ramirez. Now, so let's talk about the situation, a little bit things I heard from behind the scenes with some things that was already been known. And I'll link an article in the description proving it to be true. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. All that information is in the description. So what's going on is that Cyclone Promotions, Josh Taylor's former promoter, isn't happy about this. All right, it was believed that Taylor was going to sign a co-promotional deal with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn and exclusively probably fight on the DAZN. So when he didn't sign to the DAZN right after, he defeated Regis Prograis to win the World Boxing Super Series tournament, I think it kind of raised some eyebrows and like, what was Eddie Hearn doing? Because it sounded like a deal was imminent soon as he won. But now we getting news that Bob Arum came in with the bag and swooped him up. So he had to swoop him up because one, Crawford need opponents, and two, he got all the belts on his side of the street at 140. And Ramirez didn't want to fight Regis Prograis for whatever reason it was. Even had he beat Josh Taylor, Ramirez didn't want to fight him. And José Ramirez got a big, tough fight in China with Victor Postal. And Postal is now a Premier Boxing Champions fighter for people who don't know. But Cyclone Promotions released a statement, and it's in the article that I linked in the description, saying that they was disappointed and, long story short, Josh Taylor breached his contract and they can't believe Taylor. They were shocked when Taylor made the announcement, and he signed a new managerial contract with MTK Global. So McGuinness is no longer managing him or promoting him. Now, I don't know if Shane McGuinness will continue to train him is the question, but in the UK, it's no Muhammad Ali Act, so you can be a manager and a promoter at once. That's how Eddie Hearn is Anthony Joshua's manager and promoter. So they can get away with it, but I heard that, Top Rank really, don't know what they're going to do with Josh Taylor yet. They may not feed him or Ramirez to Terence Crawford. They may let Ramirez and Josh Taylor bang it out, but I heard that Ramirez don't want to fight his second mandatory. His first mandatory is Postal, and his second mandatory is a UK fighter, Jack Contrella, who just beat O'Harry Davis, I think, like last year. And I heard he don't want to fight his second mandatory. I don't know, because that'd be less money or whatever the situation may be. But José Ramirez just signed a new deal with Top Rank as well. And the plan that I heard was for José Ramirez after Victor Postal was to go to 47 and fight Terence Crawford. Now, if you've seen Terence Crawford boy Bernie on Instagram, he said Ramirez might just be right. He might be right, and that was the plan. But now Golden Boy has reached out to Top Rank about making Terence Crawford and Patrick Teixeira, and that's a big guy. And also, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia may be in the race as well. So if you want to see Undisputed between Josh Taylor and Ramirez, you should hope that Crawford can find another fight. If he can't, they're going to feed José Ramirez to Terence Crawford. That's probably going to be on pay-per-view, But if they can find Crawford other opponents, then they probably can convince Ramirez to fight his WBO mandatory and make Undisputed with Josh Taylor. Maybe they can pay Jack Contrella to step aside and he can get a shot at the WBO title after they fight. So if they can work out some business with the WBO, because Ramirez is taking care of his WBC mandatory, and I know Josh Taylor got an IBF mandatory, maybe they can work something out. You know what I'm saying? Where the WBO guy can get the winner, or he get the shot at the belt if the winner do vacate. But I really don't think they want to consolidate opponents. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a huge fight if they do Undisputed and then they fight Crawford, next at 47. But I like to see these guys get their feet wet at 47 first with a tune-up or two and get acclimated to the weight class. But If they do Undisputed, it'd be the two last 140-pound undisputed fighters fighting at 47. So that's something that they can market it by. But I don't know why Eddie Hearn didn't secure the bag, because he was already they was already talking behind the scenes about Taylor fight Mikey Garcia or Regis fight Mikey Garcia. So the DAZN just lost something big, and Regis Progress worked with Lou DiBella, and Lou DiBella said he would love to throw a deal at top rank for Regis to fight over there, and that would include probably a tune-up and another fight at 40, and eventually go to 47 and try to take on a guy like Terence Bud Crawford. So Regis Progress got a decision to make. Do he stay on the DAZN? And when the belt's dispersed, he probably can get a guy like Hooker. He probably can get a guy like maybe he can get not Jack Contrella, but José Cepeda. That's a guy they setting up for another belt if if Jose and Josh Taylor fight, or if they drop their belt. So it's a lot of things. They still mapping out the plan for what they want to do with Taylor. But at this point, when opponents are scarce, you don't want to consolidate opponents. So I think Ramirez might go up, fight Crawford. Maybe they try to get Josh Taylor undisputed at 47, or maybe they just start priming him ready for Crawford next. And if the Errol Spence fight don't happen, then you'll see him fight Josh Taylor. So we'll see. Taylor, a big guy. He's a switch hitter like Crawford. If you haven't seen him fight, he got power in both hands. But he ain't the greatest defensive fighter or head mover. So maybe Bob get him an American coach and he improve on those things. But he tough as nails. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see him and Ramirez stay at 40 and be undisputed, because that's a hell of a fight. That's a real hell of a fight. But when you ain't got no opponents on the other side of the street, don't want to play with you, then you got to pull all the stops and you got to go to different weight classes, or to try to get guys to fight. And if Crawford do move up to 54 versus Cher, that's a very, very dangerous fight. That dude is 6 feet, 76-inch reach, and 76.5-inch reach. He rangy. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of risk you take if the dude got 2 or 3 belts or something like that. But maybe Bob could bring Porter. He can make him fight Porter. Bob say Bud want Porter. You know what I'm saying? And when Bob say something, that's probably what Bob want. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Danny Garcia. They try to offer him. So hopefully Bud can get an opponent. You know what I'm saying? So we can see greatness happen at 140. So they ain't got to be rushed to fight Bud. But Taylor, we'll see what happens. I don't know if Cyclone Promotions is going to hold him up in a court of law, or if they're going to sue him, or was his contract just up? But Bob Arum, he did that before with David Benavidez. Benavidez was under contract, a fresh new contract with Samson Boxing. And, David Benavidez was given a couple $100,000 as a signing bonus by Bob Arum. And Benavidez, breached his contract and signed with Top Rank. And then, Samson Boxing threatened legal fees, called some people, and David Benavidez returned back to Samson Boxing, and Al Heyman returned the whatever it was, $250,000, $300,000 to Bob Arum. So, Al Heyman, he a businessman. If you got a great deal on one side of the street, he gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So even though Benavidez was under contract, Bob Arum tried to work around it, and eventually he had to get David Benavidez back to Samson Boxing. But he do promote Jose Benavidez though, so he has some close ties to David. But with Josh, hopefully he didn't got to sit out none. I know Cyclone Promotions need to step their game up so they stop losing their fighters. They a regional, promotional company in the UK. And they had a spectacular talent. And for whatever reason it is, a lot of people in the UK didn't like Josh Taylor. They was rooting for Regis Progress on the telecast on Sky. And it seemed like the good fighters in the UK don't get no love. That's how you know a UK fighter is good. If he get a lot of, fandom love, he ain't that good. But if they kind of hate or salty on him, that means he can fight. But we'll see what happens. I'll link the article in the description. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email. If you on social media, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, reach out to me. Email. You want to make a donation, that link's in the description. The best way to donate is share the video. But hey, let me know what you guys think, man, about Taylor going to ESPN and potentially fighting Jose Ramirez for Undisputed, or Terence Crawford at 47. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfella, Goodfella Sports TV. We are gone.